Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm your host, Stephen Top of that the third at your service. Now we're going to be talking about this seriously because a lot of people are not taking it seriously anymore, but they have to get the realistic side of it. Now, the Morphin grid, as from Power Rangers, as you know, from 1993 onwards, and it's supposed to continue the next two seasons, which they never did, for season 31 and season 32, which never happened. Right? There's a reason why a lot of actors and cast members and stunt people are involved is to safeguard us. Right? It's true, it's fact, it's logic. Yes, the Morphin grid does exist in real life. But the thing is, people don't want to listen, right? They are thinking they are, oh, we are clever and you routine, but they're not, right? The Morphin Grid and Thomas the Tank and the rest of all the shows and TV shows and movies that I'm in, plus my young ladies in it as well, we don't acknowledge it because we are being safeguarded by a lot of private connections. Now, a lot of you know these private connections face to face, but I would not hesitatingly say, look, Robert Picardo is one of them, right? Which we talk about in Author and all of that. It's all true. It's just facts, right? The Morphin Grid is a little bit bigger than what it looks like. People want the adult version. They want the reboot of it. They're not going to get it. You know, the fact is that the fact in the end of the day, when people do reboots or they want to do another universe of Power Rangers, then it's going to become more complicated on the original, right? You can't make like a mock copy of the original because it fucks up everything, right? I noticed that over the years, right? You know, when I tell you the Morphin Grid is real, yeah, it is, but we don't say it out loud because we've got to protect ourselves. You know, when people ask questions, they want answers for. They have to let it unfold naturally, which is true. Right? I had a phone call from an anonymous tip, right? A cow that lost her way, basically, and she thought she had loud music and all of that shebang. And I thought, no, she didn't hear nothing, right? So I won't mention her name anyway. But the Morphin Grid itself, right, has a lot to do with what my life entails, right? But it's so in the muddle, you can't work out what's what. You know, yes, Jason David Frank was a private connection. Amy Jo Johnson, private connection and friend and colleague. Right? Then it goes to David Josh. So it goes down the line. Right? As you watch the series, you're going to start seeing, oh shit. Yeah, well, the Power Rangers, every movie, every TV show has a bit of anagram of our lives in it. Right? When people think this is all a joke, this is not a joke. We shouldn't be paying for it. Right? Initially, it's our lives that are in it. You don't realise it until it unfolds in front of you. Clues are everywhere, and then everything unfolds naturally. Right? It doesn't hide nothing. It's just people can't put the things together to work it out. The Morphin Grid is so damn bloody real as it is Thomas the Tank and Friends and the rest of the bloody things. Like Harry Potter as well. That's realistic. But you need to realise where the source comes from. We're not money makers, we're just bloody helpful people. People that are committed to do what was needed to be done. Right? When people say, oh, you're a liar, well, I'm saying you're the liar. You just haven't worked it out yet because you're too young to understand. When people understand these things, they want to know why. What's the confusion? What is the delay? What's happening here? What's happened to the original universes? Why did these universes change actors or like the movies like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for example? That's another one. But let's focus on the Morphin Grid because it's bigger. 30 seasons, right? Should have given you hints, clues, and answers. Right? People have watched it, but they're not saying anything about it because it's realistic. Right? My safeguard has always been in place for me all my life. That's why I'm not always in Thomas the Tank all the time. Why do I transfer to another series? Why do I transfer to another movie? I'm always safeguarded. So wherever I be, my family's safeguarding me because they knew the truth in the past. Now, what is the bloody problem with that? Nothing. The only reason is that people that write books in the early 1900s and 1930s and 40s and 50s, something round about there, everything will unfold naturally, right? I stated to you the morphing grid is so damn real, right? In real life, right? The actors play their roles, they morph, they do the job, but they leave clues for people to find out things, right? They didn't do it out of spite, they did it because there's a lot of commitment in it, right? When people think they've got what they need, they've got, I said, everything is in black and white. The only problem is you choose not to believe it because you don't know where the bloody money came from to get them booted up in the first place. You know, I said my family's got a lot to do with it, right? A lot of people's families involved, yes, connectionally wise, but when it all comes together, it unfolds naturally, right? When I know people because they have given me the clues first. You know, you can't just say, oh shit. Well, it's a damn bloody damn truth. It's not the end of the world, you know. The problem is, it's how you make it. That I told you the Iron Swan song is turned to a Swan song. That's one problem solved. Why? Because I'm recorrecting the problem right now, here and now. I'm not doing it for just for a game anymore. I'm doing it in real life to fix people, get people in their right positions, get them right jobs for the right, you know, the right position and all of that, and get them up the ladder, up the chain, right? When people want something bad enough, like StreamYard and Google and YouTube, they all know about me, but they gotta keep their mouth shut and let it play out. You know, when things unfold naturally in front of you, the Morphin Grid, Thomas the Tank, Harry Potter, and Star Trek, and all of that, Murder She Wrote, and The Bill, all add it up. People are not laughing at me. They're very fucking dead serious. Why? I'm not going to be BSing all the way through this because I'm not a BSer, because I wasn't born to be a BSer or a liar. Right? So when you realise that the morphing grid has got a lot to do with this, with my family, yes, it has. But you have to pick out where the clues are, where the answers are, then you will say, oh, fuck. Yeah, well, clues are everywhere, names are everywhere, then the names lead to actual real names for real people, surnames, even that. It all adds up. When family helps family, we do it secretly. We don't have a normal life like you do. Not going out and about as much. We don't drink together, we don't eat together, we don't blah blah blah, you get the drill. And I ending up with the firework display saying, shit, he's real. He's a real McCoy. Don't touch him. What happens? Yeah, well, my cousin knew this, but he kept his mouth shut. But all he had to do was text his friends to say, let him play it out. Let him play it out. That's all they tried to tell you. But you won't listen. You have to read between the lines to get through everything. Right, right, when Christopher Audrey wrote the Read Between the Line book, he didn't tell you where Sodor was. He told you where it was in where it should have been, but in the day it was in Norfolk upside down. So because no one put the rails together, it's the railway lines that do it, right? A lot of the time, Norfolk has a lot to offer, but now it doesn't, right? It's Sodor upside down, yes, but no one's put it together to realise that, but people do. They're not thick. They're not stupid, right? The 8 billion people that don't know Norfolk that well should have picked up the fine lines or got clues or answers through their own heads and realised, oh shit. Yeah, well, it's oh shit. It's like the same with the Morphin grid. It's the same with Star Trek. It's the same with everything. It's all there in black and bloody white. When you think we don't exist, we do exist for a reason. It's just that a lot of people did not know it then, now they do now, because they've been told, they've been shown, they've been witnessing it, they've been watching my moves left, right, and centre. I don't need the Iron Swan song down my throat as example, right? That's why it's turning into a swan song. Because I've got children on the way. I've got my wife on the way. Why? Because they are important to me. Right? When people's lives are on the line, I have to think about you lot all at once in one bucket to say, ding, ding, damn. It's real life of all of it. But then you've got to realise I have connections, I have friends, and I have family. But we don't want to expose it all the time because we're just trying to get you on a fine line to say, look, you need to grow up. You need to wake up. You need to smell the coffee. You need this. You want that. But it's not going to come out of thin air. You have to earn it as you grow up. But then you will realise that all your actions will actually unfold everything correctly. But it's going to take a little while longer because people know people. We know things you're doing that you should be doing properly by the books. Right? In the end of the day, it's like saying to everybody, you need to relax. Stop harassing me is number one, right? Because the truth will eventually unfold. But if you keep harassing me, you're going to end up with the Iron Swan song that everybody didn't want. So it's a bit like that, right? With the Morphin grid, you see me as Sodor. I have Alpha 5, Alpha 6, Alpha 7 going down the line, and it all adds up. It's giving you clues, it's giving you answers, it's giving you everything. But then your head is not thinking straight because you don't realise, oh, fuck. Yeah, well, it's not my fault, it's your fault for not realising there's a lot of things in life that has been put in front of you because you were destined to do these things. Right? I had Zach Taylor, Kimberly Hart, Billy, Croston, and then Tweeny, and then Jason on top. Then Tommy comes along. Ding ding. Then it all adds up. Then you actually got Power Rangers Zero on top of that included. Then you got Cat as well. You know, then everybody starts to pick up little answers here and there and there, and it all adds up. When the Power Rangers do their job, they do their job. But have you realised they're growing up and starting to have their own set of family and their own descendants? Right? Their lives are legendary as much as mine. You know, when people want something bad enough, you just have to look and realise, shit, we may not be where you are, Stephen Topham Hatt the third, but we can see your life. We don't have to watch to ask these questions out or get the answers or get the realistic side of it because we're already witnessing it from another direction. Right? That's why. Because you're getting a piece of me all the way through. Right? A mega plan was put into action to put you in your place. Now and forever. Right? In the day, you've got to realise, yes, I am with Xena. Yes, I am with her. Yeah, but people don't want to know our private lives like hell. Right? In the day, you got what you need. Now you just got to wait for us to click. I did know Xena when she was 10 years of age. Or 20 at least. But I had to keep my mouth shut because I was with my great auntie Lily. So when everything unfolds in front of you, you're getting all the answers you want on a plate. But by hurting me, you're upsetting me. By asking questions that you should not be asking, of course. Asking about my health, how I'm doing, all that. I don't need that. I only need that as an annually check. Bang. Once you give them the answer that I had to provide them and said, look, I had my blood test, piss off. You know, it's not a joke. It's not a race. It's real life of everything. You know, when you want something on a plate and you want something new and fresh and reconstructive, you're gonna have to earn it now. It's not a game you can rush. This is not a life you can rush. You can't rush these things because they will have to come naturally. Right? When it comes down to the Morphin grid and when it came to the last season, the 30th season, when it isn't, there's 2 seasons missing through the Power Rangers. So you're losing two. Because why? Think about it logically. Why is 2 seasons missing? Right? Power Rangers should have Sodor back on the plate. But no, the Saban and all the rest of those dumbasses copyright holders that I'm in control of, I said, yeah, get this on paper then, you assholes. Wake up. It's realistic. I'm not a bad person. Just angry with you lot because you didn't realise where the copyrights are coming from. All the bloody people you employ to keep the copyrights going and going, even the government, bang! What happens at the bottom? The Hatt family are right below that. Why? Because we're strong, we are healthy people, we are very um, intelligent, we're not bullshitters, we're not assholes, we're nothing. Right? We're just bloody proud of what we do for you. You know, we're not bloody running for the hills. Yeah, well, if you really look at it, look at where the Norfolk Railway's acting up at the moment. When you want something bad enough, you have to earn it. Right? When one of my connectors rang me up yesterday, he said, "Can you please turn down your music?" I said, "What in the other day? I understand there's people underneath me, right? They could BS on me as much as they want, but the thing is, that's real, right? The lot of people in my life that I associate with have reasons, good reasons, whatever, ever. It goes down the chain, and it doesn't always apply to one to the other, right? Things that people see or they do on a regular basis or they do it on computers and they do it as video clips or they do it on this, they do it on that. I said, look, usually a lot of us have a lot of thinking to do, right? Which is true. Family, friends, connection, we all have to do the same pattern to a degree. They have a number, I have a number, they have a number, they have a vice versa number. Odds and evens, odds and evens, odds and evens. It works like that to a certain degree. Sometimes there's only two people that balance out correctly, right? I understand there's still a lot of questions floating about, and a lot of answers need explaining. But you see, when people want things on a plate for the next generation, they got to let everything unfold naturally. Of course, I know Margaret is still alive in my family, but she's 88 years old. It took nearly 188 people to realise that. Why? They realise it because it's real. They've been told by the real source, not a bullshitter. Why? A lot of these older people that do know me too damn bloody well, I said, why do you think it all goes back down to family? We may have our friends, our connections through the morphing grid. Yeah, of course. You can Wesley Collins, Jen as well from Time Force, Connection, then SPD, Sam and Z. That makes it even better. You know, all the connections are there, ring, 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 and people want the answers, but the answers are already given to them. They just got to know what to find. You know, it's not a way of saying it. It's just saying if you can't find the magic will, you know, have to learn how to find it. It's not a game. You can't find this magic. You have to really have to let the descendants of the original Steam team do the magic for you. But you have to be realistic on that. Me and Xena and the Albion staff, as an example, they know it's real, but they can't say anything out loud. I've got pushed to the limit, right? You see me like, let me give you another example where you can understand this very clearly, right? There's a lot of things unfolding in truth, which is true, but I don't have the luxury right now. I'm on a timer, which is why 2024 was a deadline, right? When it was 2024, time was ticking. Time was everything. Time was initially ticking away, going, going, go. Don't, don't. You know, with me, it's like saying, yes, of course, I'm reserved. Of course, I've got my young lady hat. But she can't say nothing, nor can I. Because it's our private lives. You know our names, you know everything, you know what's involved. You just don't fuck it up. Like when it's unfolding in front of you, you're lucky you got Lady Hat and Fat Man running the Albion. So leave me and Xena alone and let us carry on with our lives. Because our lives are important to us. We're the ones that have to provide you the magic to get back on track. Right, as example, the Morphin grid is on pause right now. It's not actually rebooting. If everybody asks you, oh, there's a new reboot coming out in 2025, fuck off. Because that's so top of that seniors bloody year type of year, nearly a century ago. So when you're talking about 1935 in June, then it all adds up. Right? So when you got Sir Top of that senior died in June 1935, bing bing, what's happening next year? It's 2025. So work it out. It's all there in your head, but you don't think quite clearly. So when it all unfolds in natural course in real life, the Morphin grid is real, so is Thomas the Tank, so is Harry Potter, so is Star Trek, so is Murder She Wrote, and so is the Bill. But two of them are lock and key because they don't need to be disturbed. When the facts have been put in front of you, you work out the answers just slowly. Don't rush it. Slowly do it yourself. I'm not going to keep providing the answers for you. You know, it's getting a bit tiresome because you're getting the answers you want. The story was unfolding in the correct way for you, but some people are stubborn out there, which is true. I get that. They want their answers on the plate, telling me I was dead, telling me my Lady Hat's dead, telling my mother's dead, telling my father's dead. I said we hadn't even got to that yet. Have you realised it's going slowly in real life, not in fiction? In any angle, in any direction. So pick it up. You know, you've got the answers, you've got the facts, you've got the truth. The people that are bugging me are the people below me because they don't know what the flaming hell's going on. Realistically, fat controllers above them, I own everything. Never enough. But every time the company fails on you, like you said, why did Thomas the Tank didn't have season 25? Then it comes back to me in real life because it's the adult version of me. So when you feel like you've got something to lose, you have lost nothing at all. It's just that connections have been helping me all my life, safeguarding me. If one goes, the other one takes over. You're not going to expect that on me just yet, because it's my son that's next in line. But I have to respect what I got, also respect my Lady Hat herself. She's not going to bloody run away from me. Course not. But she's too bloody busy at the moment. When it all comes unfoldedly in front of you, you're going to start asking those questions and say, sorry, sorry, sorry. It's all going to be sorries in the end. Apologetics, yes. And then it'll all be like saying, how can I forgive you when you've been seeing it unfoldedly? Probably your parents have told you, and the children have got the memo, and they don't have to do nothing. All they had to do is play out the anagrams right through. Right? But now you got your answer. You don't need to bug us. Right? All you need to do. People know it's my distant cousin. Yes. Plus my wife. Yes. But don't rush us because we just end up breaking down on you. Then you end up with nothing. Then people will ask why. And then people ask why did the story change this much? Why did the story change so bloody much? I said that Swan Song is an action, right? But it's not happened yet. People will respect what they got. The Swan Song. Now, a lot of people know about the Morphin grid as much as everybody else, but that's got clues in there. Star Trek's got loads of it in there because they've done a lot of seasons since 1960s. So work it out. Leonard Nimoy, dead and gone. Sorry, God bless his soul. Then you got everything unfolds to the people we knew, right? Angela Lansbury, who's dead, who's, who we have to respect. And then you got the bill as well for my great, for my with my uncle Robert Weston. So wake up! He put his son's name instead of his. So reverse it. He was a police officer. So he put his son in the bloody bill. That's why it's lock and key. Right? So then you got Thomas Tank, which is me. Right? In the day, I'm also Sodor in the Morphin grid. So work it forward. 5 seasons is actually 5 generations. So if you worked it out, it would have come clearer, clearer, clearer. For a lot of people that don't do this work and do all of this research and realise shit, it is real. Because it goes back to the London Midland service, it goes back to the Great Western service, it goes back to the Midland Great Northern, it goes back to the Great Eastern, LNER, all of it. But does people realise why Hazel the B12 is on maintenance mode right now? Not just for a bloody maintenance overhaul. She's an experimental engine that has to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not going to be able to do it right now, or able to not to do it. So it'll be someone in my family, descendantly. But it will be my son or my granddaughter that will put that put the face to get the personality, to get the voice. It's all there, black and white. I've got Alice, I've got Patricia, I've got Amanda. Wake up! If I got those three, then you know I'm down the right track. Why? When I see my friends in high places, I know things. I see things that other people haven't got time for. Right? In every day, my family's been safeguarding me for a very long time, even after death. So don't tell me I've been watched, because I am, by dead people and the people around me. They know every trick in the book and they know every move. Right? So don't say the NHS is best. No. Because that's what we keep telling them long time ago. That's why my grandfather on my mother's side of the family stated, I hate hospitals. Right? Because it's true. Right? Because in the day, 20 years ago, the NHS tried to do everything they can do to their power, right? But they screwed up. Right, so I'm getting this memorial on top of this because in the days 20 years later, now you're ending up with me on a plate, telling you the damn bloody truth from bottom up. I'm connected to everything, I'm linked to everything, I'm the world as well. Basically, my family is global, right? You can't change that. We have connections, we have friends, and we have family. We don't have much left. All you're doing is destroying yourselves if you let it happen. I said to you from day one, I know how realistic it is now because people who are in the cops will have to keep a record. The murder she wrote will be lock and key. The bill will be lock and key. It's all realistic. They know it's not bullshit, right? So if you try and harass me through the law, they will just say you you actually got more rights than any other individual on this bloody planet. Right? And in the day, you're getting what you want, you're getting what you need, but at the same time, you have to be a bit patiently on this. This is not a race against time. Well, it is to a point, but when you look at it in the mirror and realise, oh, shite. Yeah, it all adds up, don't it? When it all comes into black and white, don't it? Mattel is my private company. Yes. They screwed up. Yes. But that was their mess up, not mine. You can't blame the story for unfolding in real life when it's all in truth. Now you've got an adult version of me telling the rest of the story. So you're seeing it in face to face contact, you're talking to me in real life, you're hearing the Thomas the Tank voice, you're hearing the Fat Controller's voice, you're hearing it all, but no one's not always put the pieces together yet. Some have, some haven't. But my family is also returning on top of that. So by restoring what you want or need, it's a bit like saying, yeah, well, you got your needs coming through. How much more are you going to complain about it to God? It said, we need this, we need this, we need this. I said, you're going to get your needs, but you just got to be patient. This is why I'm on a timer, why I was on a timer for 2024, because everybody knew my mother was 24 years of age when she had me. So add another two, let's say 2,000 years to it. Then it all adds up. 2024. We done this in 1963. We revealed ourselves. In 1958, we revealed ourselves. Right? It all was truth in black and bloody white. But in the day, you missed a 30-year gap because of my mother and Margaret. Grow up. Realistic. If you don't want to know about it, just realize that I got your evidence, I got your DNA codes. Yeah, well, when people, when you watch Power Rangers Time Force, right, right, there were a lot of people in the in the in the thing like this, and it all adds up, right? Jenna West, for example, right? Jen was told by one of her teammates, we need a DNA code for Alex. Ding ding. Then it points back at the Cole family. So working forward. So what did happen? Ding ding goes in reverse now because everything is reversing. All the facts are all coming to truth and light. Of course, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take Cole, right, from World Force as well. I'm going to put that in picture, right? He went into prison, right? But he is a Red Ranger, right? Austin St. John, you try to take down as well. Now you can pack that fucking white in right now. Because he's Jason, the Red Ranger. And he deserves his dignity and respect. Right? Of course he's made a mistake. But in the day, he's still a Power Ranger. By trade. Jason David Frank, if he was alive, he would spoke on his behalf and said, he's been the great Red Ranger. Always has been. So did Tommy when he was alive. But when you've always add it up and you're thinking, what shit? Right? There's a lot of clues floating about. But you have to be realistic on everything. You know, Jenna Frank has taken over her father's role now as the Green Ranger and White Ranger and the Black Dino Ranger. I don't need to repeat that, but in the day, Amy Jo Johnson's still got her Pink Ranger powers and Cat, but they both can't use it at the same time. But they had to. When the rules were applied long time ago by Zordon, David Fielding, who's also my private connection, he stated there's a three rules that they had to obey to protect the power. Right? That was true, it was logic, and it was fact. But in the day, the Rangers had to reveal themselves at some point in time to keep the magic alive, the balance alive through that. Don't change the story, reboot it, fucker, because it won't work. You know, when you reboot it and put it like, oh, Power Rangers reboot 2025. No, it won't happen because I put a stop to it. And I said, look, respect the Morphin Grid universe you got and just gradually turn it into adult because you need the universe to be the same in all directions. You can't multitask and say, oh, no, 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 go down the line because it won't work. You got the actors, use them politely, respectfully. They're all my safeguards. So tell them, tell you, tell the actors know what I'm about to say is, it's Morphin time! And it's not a logical joke either. Because in the day when you really unfold it correctly, the truth will reveal itself. Right? In the day, there's a lot of people we don't have no more. Right? Especially Udonna, the White Mystic Ranger. Now, there's another one where people got clear heads like mine. They understand why is he saying this? Why is he saying that? And then your heads will start to click. Right? The morphing grid will always be real, but you just got to get the people that went into prison for nothing. All they had to do was get it recorrected and say, look, right, Austin St. John wasn't allowed to leave his own American country. What a fucking load of BS. He has rights as much as anyone else does on this planet. Everybody employs the same bloody law. We always do. The only problem is Americans are trying to twist it a little bit because they got the president. Right? When it all goes down there, that's bullshit. It's like the government. Bullshit. Because I already know what they're up to. So if they want a bloody argument on this, I said, don't push it. Because what's unfolding is all in truth, yes. But then you've got to let it unfold naturally. What happens if the government start fighting back? And they are moaning and groaning and groaning and groaning until their cows come home. They will ask you to vote on every part of the country, not just the presidency and all the other shit. I said, look, grow up. It's real. It's real life to the end. Right? But it never ends. It continues. Right? When I tell you these things, these are realistic. Straight to the point, straight to the keyhole. You all want realistic stuff? I'm giving you realistic stuff. But you've got to let it unfold naturally. When people understand it all, they wake up and smell the bloody coffee. It's not a game anymore. It's realistic. All of it. But you've got to put the facts in to get it right. A lot of people may not understand what has unfolded, what has gone right, what's gone wrong, why did it go wrong, why did the government fuck up. I said that's all truth. Right? In the end of the day, you get the truth, you get the logic, and you get the respect. Do you think the news travels quicker than the naked eye? Yes. Does BBC News fuck up? Yes. Does the EDP fuck up? Yes. Does the Sky News fuck up? Yes. Because they're interfering in other people's worlds. Privacy, if you will. When they say we've got news from America, we got news for this, we got news for that, I said, don't bother. We should be focusing on our countries on our own to a point by monitoring it to make sure you don't intervene in what you call a conflict of interest with every country. Right? You've got to leave what's involving for one country, maybe not the same country is involving at the same stage as us. Right? Because you don't realise it. When it unfolds in front of you, you say the Morphin grid is real? Yeah, it is. So is Thomas the Tank, so is everything else. Everything is real. It's just the way it plays out in real life. When a lot of people are born to destined to do things, you leave them alone and let them the legendaries do their work. You know, there's a lot of people that are legendary that got so powerful. A lot of them die. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they live their lives to the full, and they really tell the full story about themselves. But you've got to understand that you have to have photographs of people, family, friends, and connections. They tell you about your life, but they also tell you about yourself and your past, your present, and your future. But what they don't understand is like they got railway keys that link back to people, connections, friends, and family. When it all goes down on paper, it goes click, click, click. It will come to light. When you're dealing with the morphing grid, don't fuck it up. Because every day the safeguards are up. Like I said, the Sky News, the BBC News, the Anglia News, the ITV News, whatever, or BBC News, they all get screwed up because they don't know what to fucking do with themselves. If they'd done more realistic facts and truth and no lies, then they might have something that people can read properly to the T. I said the Hats will put them in their places. Myself and the Hats, we always put them back on track. But they have to learn to grow up. Like Jackie Cooper said, I am one of a kind. And every time you have somebody that makes you believe a man can fly, as example, they make you believe that he can fly, but down the line, when it comes down the bottom of it all, that the facts will always hurt you harder because you don't realize what's in front of you until you open your eyes and realize it's realistic. Cole Evans didn't deserve to go to prison, or Jason doesn't deserve to have his rights taken away from him. Right? I get that. That's wrong. Right? I get people make mistakes all the time. Americans can fucking throw their guns away because there's another thing on the list. You don't need them with guns in the houses. They may have a license for it, but they can't shoot at people because it'd be wrong on that side. When our country doesn't believe in weapons half the time. When you want something done correctly, you have to talk diplomatically, relationally, and get it done correctly. You do not need guns. People invent guns to get past the law, but they can't. The law is stating in our country that we can't use weapons like that. Because if we shoot, right, if you kill a member of the Hatt family, you'll go to prison instantly. Because I know what my family is like, and I know what to do, how to correct this problem. But it's taking a little time. Don't rush it. What you can see is what you're getting. I'm not pushing you. I'm not pushing anyone for that matter. But it all adds up. Eventually, you're going to end up saying, why? It's fact, it's logic, it's truth. It's just a dead straight point across realistic point of view. People that do not understand what's going on yet, they're going to be told by their parents to understand it's real, it's real, it's real. Everything is real, right? What you see is what you get, yes. My family is safeguarded and everything, yes. But when it comes down to Mattel, that's my bloody problem. I deal with them personally, right? They're going to get booted and realise we're going to have to recorrect it. They should never have sold off the Tom's franchise off. All they had to do is recorrect the 2D to the CGI series that everybody cares about. But because now it's real life, they can't change it now. You asked for me so many times. You got what you need. Grow up. Because the cops will know this as a fact and it's truth. You can't meddle what's unfolded so far. Or unfolding still. Right? We don't want the Island Swan song. Let's turn to a Swan song now. Because I've got a family heading my way. But we're not living in the same houses. Why? Because we might get targeted. So, in the day, when you want family, family will always be there, but mine won't be. We have to reunite to get everything back on track. It's not a game. It's my gift to my mother and Zena and myself and Margaret. Three pieces become whole. We haven't got much of a family left. Why do you think I had to marry Zena as example to get everybody back on reboot? You know, when people go ahead, do everything ahead of schedule, they fuck up. You know, when I'm not, and I'm being really useful and helpful and kind and caring and all of that, and being honest with you, don't throw the book at me and say I'm alive, because that's the first thing I would tell you I'm not. It's just the way it plays out in real life when you don't realise the fiction side is safeguarding us. So when you see it unfold in reality, right, a lot of people may not understand what's bloody unfolded. Right, in the day, don't tamper with something that's realistic. You know, my friends could call me Matthew, my colleagues could call me Matthew, but my connections have to call me Sir Stephen Topham at the third. So that's what I go by. Right? The Morphin grid is so much powerful than what you expect. Don't turn it into a shattered grid. Because there's another thing I like to bring up while I'm on this podcast is tell you if you shattered us, there'd be more pieces for another 30 years and there'd be 60 years lost. So be careful. Alright? I know things, yes. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. But at the same time, you got to realise the Iron Swan song has turned into a Swan song. Because we have to. I just have to be patient as much as everybody else does. But I still have to work the same way. I have to work as a landlord part of the time to help Zena out. She, for everything she does for me and I do for her, it's twice as much as what you do when you go out. Right? In the day, family protects family. And when family is threatened, or they're in trouble, or they're in stress, or they're in everything, family comes back to family. Liz and and the rest of the Albion team, they should know this by now. Pick up the signs, clues, answers. Even if it comes out of my mouth, I'm telling you the truth. I would never lie to you. But I need another safeguard in that fucking building. So I trusted one individual. Liz is starting to know about this, but she could report back to my father and fuck up the whole thing. So if you really realistically realise There are a lot of people out there that want, and they're gonna have to wait for it. You know, in the day, Cena gave me the last clue I needed. Cena may be the key. Yes, I'm also the key. But we have to get married to get the family fixed. It's the way it redoes every generation. I can't run away from that responsibility. Not even for a lifetime. What's left? So when you're witnessing the real life version, people that do witness it, boof, like they will die and they will take the secret to their graves. And then the fourth generation should follow by me and my granddaughter. That's it. With my wife. That's it. You know, when things come to you, you have to be patient on these things. Little things do matter at the same time. I can't go back into the Albion as the same person. Matthew Manson is declared dead. Yes, it is my real name on the anagram, yes, but that's not my real name. My real name has been Stephen Topham Hatt in secrecy, but I had to reveal that to protect my other family, the family that's been helping me all my years without me knowing about it. Like Nick Bozier said in American, one of my private connections said, "You watching his life unfold, ding ding, quotedly." So I'm not gonna say he's a liar. All you have to do is reverse it to get the result. The problem is you're not paying attention to realise it's the same with the Power Rangers. It's the same with everything else. When the hat's rise, so does steam, which has been happening all this time. So don't say we are like what you expect your head to be. At this moment, it's hard. I get that. But there are people around you that don't fully understand it yet. When it all comes to light, it all unfolds naturally, effectively. But you gotta give it time. It's not a race, it's not a chase, it's realistic. And this is the last podcast I'll be doing right now because I need a break. Right? A lot of you understand what's unfolding right now, but you have to let it unfold naturally. You know my wife now, you know who my kids are, you just gotta let it play out a bit to get it connected. It's gonna take a little while, but I'm not Diesel 10, and that's for sure. Because that's I'm not having history repeat itself and lose another 30 years, so it becomes 60. And I'm just putting it as a reminder, right? It's all about love and understanding, caring for others, being honest with each other, right? There's a lot of people really have to be safeguarded, no matter what. Me and Zena are doing it together because we have to be safeguarded. We're not a normal couple that you see going down the street trying to go to a restaurant, get drink, get food, get water, and have a good time. We don't have that luxury. We have to work twice as hard. It's not a game, it's not a race, it's not a chase. Alright, when you think about it, I'm not chasing her, she's not chasing me, but she knows when a need is a need. What is a want is a want. We are Me and Xena are basically polar opposites of each other because we are distant cousins. Right? It's not going to change anything because the story will unfold naturally the way it would. Just a little bit of dignity would have gone, a little bit of respect. People won't believe it right now because they just can't get the clues in their heads, or they don't have the time, or the patience, or the virtue to do what needs to be done. So if you had any dignity for my family, leave us alone and let it play out and let it roll out. We know what the answers are now. Just leave us alone, will you? You know, me and Zena need to have a life. We don't need a push off. In the end of the day, you got your answers. You got the respect out of me. You just got the honesty out of me. At the same time, do I feel like I'm Diesel 10? No. He's a totally evil little shit. Sometimes, if you work it all out in my head, I know you have worked it out already sooner enough. Don't piss about. What you see is what you get. Right? I'm not going to be going down the line where it's all going to go bang, bang, wallop. Because I'll be telling you, I warned you so. So, in the end of the day, it's all unfolding the truth. Now just let it unfold. In the end of the day, Margaret will never see me. She never has seen me for so long. Lily's dead. My grandfather's dead. All I got is two cousins that haven't even met each other that much. Probably they have, but my mother was too young. I would say young in her 20s or 30s. And then you got me on top. Then you got Zena being 20 years old. Then you got me as 10 years old and something like that. And then you ended up realizing, oh fuck. Yeah, well, it's a joke. Fuck you, card, isn't it? But at the same time, it's not a damn joke either. I'm her safeguard as she is mine. Plus, she's my wife and my distant cousin. What do you expect? She may not have the mouth to mouth this all off, but I tell you now, grow up. It's real as it comes. When people want something bad enough, I tell you, all the Power Ranger actors should get medals, gold rewards, everything. They don't deserve to be treated like fucking thieves. They're not thieves. They're not criminals. They're not assholes. They're not pricks. They're not anything like that. They're just basically down to the line saying to you, you got this problem, you solve it, or I will correct it for you. Because that's what I'm doing, recorrecting the timeline. But at the same time, while they were doing their actions, we were doing ours. So while you work it out, we all live on the same planet. So by putting us in jail or doing this or doing that, whatever you do in your normal life or your job life, try and make sure that you get. Remember, if you're gonna mix with me or the rest of anything else that's unfolding in natural course, let it unfold. Because eventually, the truth about certain episode or program or book or TV show or movie will unfold naturally. You see, when I was young, I had to do this job since I was 5 years old, and I didn't have a choice. I was destined for greater things in life. Right? It's like having Harry Potter's last movie in reverse, going backwards instead of forwards. So when that comes out next year, don't bother watching it, because I'm just giving you the bloody glass clue that you want. So when that comes out, instead of watching it forward, watch it in reverse. Because I know too bloody much. Alright? There's a lot of boundaries, I get that. But there's a lot of truth to it. Thank you very much. It's every angle.